Welcome back to the optimal lineups and stacks for DraftKings on week 12. Also, happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Most cases, Thanksgiving may be over, so hope you all had a splendid Thanksgiving holiday with family and friends, and took time to kick back, relax, and eat some good food, and hopefully enjoy some good football. That's something that is always a big part of Thanksgiving, and something that I hope everyone enjoyed. If you did play daily, maybe you took down some cash and got some extra spending money for Black Friday and Christmas and the upcoming month or so. So the Week 11 optimized lineups, they were all pretty much sunk from the get-go. AJ Green left with an injury very early in that game, and that just gives you a goose egg, which makes it near impossible to cash in any sort of lineup when you end up in a situation like that. So, that's unfortunate. Obviously, you can't project injuries, and it just stinks. But if you happen to use the optimized lineups, you likely were in rough shape in Week 11. Not only AJ Green, but Martellus Bennett was the chalkiest play of the week. He just turned out to be a dud as well. The one good thing about that was that he was so highly owned that it affected half the field more than likely. So, if you happen to not use the lineup and didn't use AJ Green and most of the other optimizations, you probably ended up in pretty good shape. So, hopefully we can put Week 11 behind us if you didn't cash and you had those unfortunate players in your lineups that just blew up, and you can rebound again this week. I know myself, I had a very good week last week. I won a ticket to the Millie Maker in a quarter arcade, and took down some free cash in that. Not as much as I was hoping for, but, free money's free money. And off a quarter ticket entry, can't go wrong. Quarter arcades and satellites are just awesome on DraftKings, especially if you're a lineup building addict like myself. You can just pop in every sort of imaginable lineup you want and cross your fingers and just kind of hope for the best. So anyways, enough about me and my lineups. Let's kind of look into this week in the optimizations. There's no bye weeks this week, but 3 games obviously are taking place today, Thanksgiving. But there's still 12 games remaining for the weekend, so that's good. There's a lot of options out there. High scoring games, it looks like the top 2, according to over-under for Vegas, is the Cardinals and the Falcons, which are projected at a 50.5 point spread, and the Panthers versus Oakland, who are projected for a 49 point total. So those 2 games, a lot of players will probably be targeted in the optimizations, maybe not. We'll have to look and see here, but I know myself personally, I'll be targeting some of these guys. I mean, when you have that many points scored, someone's got to score them. So we'll be looking into that area personally, but let's check out what the optimization gives us here, shall we, this week. It looks like the optimizer is going with the plan that I'm planning on using this week. It's loading up on the running back position, kind of going top heavy there, and then kind of sprinkling in some value plays at wide receiver. Looks like Melvin Gordon, David Johnson, and Jay Ajayi are the backs that the optimizer chooses for our cash lineup today. We all know David Johnson's matchup proof. He shredded the Vikings last week. It doesn't matter who he's playing. And this week he happens to face Atlanta, whose defense is, easily vulnerable to the run. So Johnson should be lined up in chalk and have a great week. Melvin Gordon has also proven himself to be matchup proof this season, to the surprise of many. He's just getting the touches, he's getting the yardage, however he can, and touchdowns, of course, are kind of his forte this season. So Gordon is going up against, a pretty vulnerable Houston run defense, without J.J. Watt and those guys in there. So he's another great play this week, and Jay Ajayi, he seems to be due. I mean, he's poised for another 200-yard game. It's been a while since he's broke 100 yards, actually, about 3 weeks. So this week he gets the 49ers defense, which is more than vulnerable. And Ajayi just gets so many touches. He's the horse. He's kind of the focal point of that offense right now in Miami. So I don't like saying someone's due for a big game, but Jay Ajayi is definitely due. The receiving trio of Jarvis Landry, Tyler Boyd, and Malcolm Mitchell, has a lot of toss-ups there, a lot of Hail Marys, but Landry's safe. He's a safe pick of that trio. He gets targets. He gets about 8 targets a game. Um, and last week a touchdown kind of salvaged his miserable week. He only had 28 receiving yards and 5 catches, but he still has put up over 11 DraftKings points each week for the last month. So he should be safe, and he should be seeing a lot more targets this week. So I'm liking Landry against that same kind of weak defense that Ajayi gets to face. Tyler Boyd is kind of stepping into more targets with the loss of aforementioned AJ Green. He should be getting a lot more targets on the outside there, and reception increase for Boyd, who already can make some big plays and is a red zone target, is a good thing. And his price is pretty cheap still. He's only 4,000 DK dollars, so that's not bad at all. Malcolm Mitchell, I really like him this week. He's kind of become like a guy in the New England offense that is kind of a sneaky play here, but you just never know who the Patriots are going to utilize, who they're going to throw to. And with some injuries and whatnot, Mitchell is a nice sneaky play here at 3,000 DK dollars. So he's kind of the punt of this lineup, but it allows you to get these other big name guys in there. So the running backs are the key to this offense, along with Drew Brees, who is as safe as we get. And we'll get into Drew Brees here when we look at the GPP lineup. So the GPP lineup is very similar, except they opted up. They kicked out who did they kick out here? Jay Ajayi from the running back trio, and they popped in Mike Evans. Evans is facing the Seattle offense or defense, which is, as we know, pretty tough in the secondary. But he's just a target fiend. They're going to force feed him the ball. If they want to stay in this game, they need Evans to be a part of that. So I'm liking Mike Evans a lot as a GPP pivot. He may not be highly owned simply because he's playing Seattle. So in GPP tournaments, that's a good thing. You want that lower ownership with high ceiling, and that defines Mike Evans. Devontae Parker replaces Landry in this lineup as well. Parker's kind of a boomer bust guy, but he's actually been doing pretty well as well this season. Over the last 2 or 3 weeks, he's really come on for the Dolphins. So he's kind of a safe play, and actually I think the optimizer has him projected for just under 1 point less than Jarvis Landry this week. So that's also a nice upside play. Travis Kelce and C.J. Federwich are the tight ends. The tandem here, I kind of like that idea, that move. Both guys are receiving a lot of targets and are red zone favorites for their respective teams, so you can't really go wrong there. Let's see here, and then we'll move on to the GPP stack lineup. Let's see. So we got pretty much the same kind of guys, except the stack has Drew Brees, Brandon Cooks, and Michael Thomas, who are, their top receiving options. They can make some big plays, and I think it's going to be a higher scoring game against the Rams. I think they're going to be throwing an awful lot, and Brandon Cooks and Michael Thomas will certainly be the recipient of Drew Brees' passes in this stack. So Cooks hasn't scored less than 11 DraftKings points over his last 4 games, and he should see a lot more targets this week, I'm thinking, than he's only been averaging 6 the past 4 games. But Cooks is a big play guy. He gets those 6 catches, or four of those 6 targets, and he can do a lot with it. Thomas, he's kind of the same boat. He's only had 1 game under 11 DraftKings points over his past 4, and he had a few nice 20-point plus weeks sprinkled in there. Primarily his 2 touchdown performance against the 49ers in week 9, I believe it was. So the stack lineup looks pretty much the same. You got Malcolm Mitchell plugged in there again from the Patriots. You got the Kelce Federwich stack and the Chiefs defense, along with Melvin Gordon and David Johnson at the running back position. So the stack lineup looks pretty good. I like the Saints this week a lot. They should be scoring easy enough against the Rams, and after their kind of weaker performance for the Saints standpoint on Thursday night, I'm really liking them to come out guns a-blazing and score some good points. So with that, I will wish you all once again a happy Thanksgiving, or hope you had a happy Thanksgiving. Good luck to you all this weekend, And be sure to keep checking into dailyfantasycafe.com. We have so many articles, so many awesome tools. You can use a stack generator, you can use a lineup optimizers, targets, all sorts of great tools that we have on there, as well as the articles and other video podcasts from my colleagues. So keep checking in. Wish you all the best. Have a great 4-day holiday weekend, and we will see you again next week.